I'm Nana.
And I'm Ro.
And together we are
Tutu.
Oh my god,
We haven't done an intro so long.
I don't think I agree with boycotting just because you're giving up on the people that live there.
We can't really boycott the country because it means so many things than just this bill.
I don't think that even crosses white people's mind about people who are not white, about whether that person could be gay. The moment I say, oh, I'm a lesbian, like, what?
Really?
But in our community, I was obvious. It's kind of obvious. The queer community in Ghana, as much as they're up against so much with the laws and things like that, they're still living their truth. Like,
nice.
and it's the amount of bravery within that is amazing.
I'm so excited. I can't. I am so excited. Okay, fine. You're more excited. Sorry. Sorry, you're more excited.
If you're watching, you probably know
You already know.
who we have here.
Yeah.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Nana.
And I'm Ro.
And together we are
Tutu.
Oh my god,
We haven't done an intro so long.
I cannot do.
Oh my god, does that make you feel a bit emotional?
It does.
little bit.
I'm surprised I
Yeah.
remember it. I'm not gonna lie to you. But
Yeah.
it's wow.
Yeah.
Because then you just have like, hello, hello. And then
Yeah.
hello, yeah.
Hello, hello.
And then the music, the jazz kind of
Yes.
music. Oh, I love.
Yes.
Okay,
Start it again.
please. For anyone who doesn't know,
Rude.
True.
give us a little bit of a background on the podcast that you both have.
Well, our podcast, we started YouTube first. Okay, this is a long, spiel, but there was no representation. There was no like black, British, mask lesbians from the UK. There was a lot over the pond. And we wanted to see ourselves. So we was like, okay, let's start a podcast. We tried to do the podcast. We didn't have money for studio, so we tried to do it ourselves on our laptop. And it took us like 3 days to record one episode.
We know the struggle.
There was like a third member who was just very chaotic. Love you, Sade. Very chaotic. But it took us 3 days. So we was just like, okay, maybe YouTube will be easier. So we started YouTube. We got a camera. We set up in Rose's room. We had the Ghana flag, like above us. And we was just talking too much. Like, with YouTube, it kind of has to be a bit quick and like, because people just fall off. Do you know what I mean? After about 10 minutes.
point.
Yeah.
And we fell off too.
Yeah, we fell off. They're like by the like 20th video or something, Ro was in her boxers.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't even trying
I love it.
for the camera. And it was like, we talk too much, so let's just try and start this podcast. We found a studio and we started recording, and 5 years later. But we loved it. What happened? What did I miss out?
This week would have been our 5th year anniversary.
Stop it.
September. We
Yes.
started in September.
Really?
Yeah, 2019.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we
congratulations.
did. We did.
Is it like technically like finished, or is it on a hold? Like, what's the actual status?
That's a good question. I wish we knew.
It's a hiatus. We're in a hiatus.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we said. We said see you later. Everybody was
We said,
like,
this isn't goodbye.
oh my god, why are you guys leaving? We never said we're leaving. We just
Yeah.
said see you later.
On hold for the
on hold.
Okay,
On
yeah.
hold, yeah. But that's the short version of it. But we just wanted to see ourselves, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We wanted to talk to things. We would go out, and then like on the bus ride home, we'd be chatting about things, about the community, about the scene, and it was just like, this would be good, as a podcast. Like, if people are feeling things that we're feeling, then they want to hear it. We want to hear about it, and so.
And did lots of people like align with it? Because there's not many. I mean, there's a lot of queer podcasts, I'd say, but podcasts that are people of color, there's not that many. And then if you add being a lesbian, like it's even harder, and there's not many there. So did lots of people get back to you like, I've never been heard like this before?
Yes.
Like, and the topics, I feel like are very like British black topics as well,
Exactly.
which I think was needed.
Yeah. A lot of people say they like hearing our voice. It sounds familiar.
Yeah.
The language is familiar.
Yeah.
And actually, we had a lot of Ghanaians as well.
Yeah.
'Cause we're both
Really?
Ghanaians. So
Yeah.
a lot of Ghanaians were like, wow, like, I'm hearing myself. I'm hearing my experiences. And even though we're not based in Ghana, they could see the similarities in like our culture and things like that from our upbringing.
Yeah.
So, and even some mums and sisters have turned around like, oh, I'm not homophobic anymore. Like, so that's been really
Oh,
good.
wow.
Or
Yeah.
they're like, oh, I understand my sibling a bit more. I understand my child a bit more, which is just beautiful because, that's what we wanted. We wanted people to say, we're just regular people. Do you know what I mean? We just love who we love. Yeah.
And then you kind of went into doing events. Where was that born from? How did you come up with it? Did it just naturally lead?
The events, I started the events first.
Okay.
And it wasn't actually a queer event when it first started.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just an event.
It was an event,
and for the first 2 events, obviously we're queer, so a lot of queer people came, and the straight people were like, "Oh, we've never seen this many queer people."
They were all looking around like,
Yeah, they were all in a corner watching us have fun. And eventually, was like, "Okay, we need to decide now because there was too much to divide, and it was just awkward." So we decided to be a queer event. And then Nana came on board and we changed the name because it was just me and Nana now. So we changed the name. And yeah, we just do these queer events, we throw parties, but we're trying to do things that are not always centered around partying.
And
There's just not enough. There's too many.
Yeah.
We just, even though we met in a party, you know,
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.
But there are some people who might be religious, don't drink, and things like that, and they want to just do other things. So
trying to cater to
yeah,
those
we're trying to
people.
cater.
What are you thinking? I'm intrigued in that because I'm not very party or anything like that. What would you do?
We're thinking about doing speed dating events, some
Oh,
sports
yes.
day events, some
Okay.
gym events, just
Like run
different,
clubs or book
like
clubs or
exactly different things because it's not just about being in a club and being in a club.
You should do. Oh no, I shouldn't tell you what to do.
What?
No, I want to hear.
No, we need to hear the ideas.
I was thinking because I just immediately was like, oh, the Common Press.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we should do an event there, like a read club, like a
They
book
have
club.
offered us the space.
They have,
Yeah, they did. So we need to.
You should
let's
do it.
Yeah.
This is a sign. Let's do it.
Yeah, honestly, because that would be so cute. I'd love that. I'd come to that. That'd be
Okay,
amazing.
okay.
And then you could do your like relaunch of your podcast. And your live show.
We should do a live podcast show actually there. That would be great.
Yeah.
Maybe we should write a book. And then,
Oh, you could write a book, poetry.
How did you guys meet then? The origin story.
Oh my god, yeah, it's typical though. I had a friend who I had relations with once, and then my friend met Ro. They had relations.
yeah.
And then through that, me and Ro met, and we said, "Oh,
Did
we
you
liked
click
it." We
straight
clicked
away?
straight
Okay,
away,
okay.
straight away. And then we actually met at what was it?
A rooftop.
Rooftop,
Yeah,
like
it was a silent disco kind of vibe.
Okay.
in Hoxton. 10 years. Is it 10 years ago? You know, I'm bad with
about
dates.
10 years ago, yeah.
About 10 years ago. And was like, oh, we're both Ghanaian. We really get on.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we
yeah.
just kind of like dashed the girl and became friends.
Yeah. She got dashed. All the way dashed. She's been so messy that day, you know.
Yeah.
That day, let me tell you guys something.
Yeah.
That day, there was another girl that was in the group. So she was like, basically like kind of two-timing.
Yeah.
But the other girl knew about me, but I didn't know about her. So they would go off to the toilet and be lip syncing.
Savage.
And then she had purple lipstick on and her lipstick was all over her face. And I was like, why is it?
Yeah,
And she's
honestly.
like, oh, I just swiped it off. But it was all over, why is it all over your face then?
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress.
She's not holding any feelings towards you.
None.
So chill.
But she's never worn purple lipstick ever again.
Yeah. That's how we met.
Yeah.
Typical, isn't it?
That's kind of cute. And then you obviously just went, oh, let's do a podcast after the YouTube thing. Do you think now, like looking back, is there things that you would want to change if you were to come back?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think we would have a whole rebrand, you know, because our artwork is old. That's from 2019, and people look at it like, you guys don't look like that anymore. We are old. We have aged.
Because that was in lockdown. we did that
Yeah.
artwork.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just sat outside someone's random front door and took pictures. Like,
It looks sick though.
Yeah. So we do that, and we just like be a bit more polished. I think like we'd be a bit more polished. We'd be a bit more structured because like towards the end we just like would just show up to the to the studio.
We weren't planning the episodes for like a year. We just showed up, press record, and just start talking.
Yeah.
But I feel
About
like
you.
people like that though.
good.
You know, when you just
Yeah.
kind of go with what you're thinking.
people
Sometimes if it's too structured, it's
Yeah,
like you can kind of
yeah.
tell.
Tell, yeah.
How did you plan? Because we never planned. Like, we don't even plan this.
This is what we like.
Yeah. But I have no idea what we're going to talk
I
about.
see a lot of similarities between us. Yeah, I mean, just having, I think you guys do this as well, but just having like a few talking points.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, that's it really. But we would turn up with no talking points. Like, we didn't know what we were talking
And
about.
just wing it as
Yeah,
you're
we just
going,
wing
kind
it,
of.
you know, for a year.
But in the beginning, we were really planned. In the
Yeah.
It
beginning, we would
always
know
starts like
what
that.
the topic's going to be. We would have like talking points. We would do research.
Yeah.
Stuff. Like, no, that's new.
That's true though. When you first started, when we were like, okay, we're gonna talk about like the dichotomy and the nuances
Yeah.
between Arab, and then we'd like look at this, and then after we're like, so I don't like the flags actually.
Yeah, literally.
And then he'd be like, yeah, me neither. And I'm okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
We tried to have a producer as well at one point.
Okay.
and then she turned into our editor. Shout out to Ella.
Yeah.
She just started a podcast as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, she was like the third silent member of Tutus for a while.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I don't know, I don't think the producing thing worked because we just come and start talking. So it didn't really work. So, but yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I wanted to just know a little bit of like individual personal backgrounds, like coming out experiences and things like that. So who wants to start?
She always does this. If you've watched podcasts, you know that. She always does this. When did I know I was a gay? I feel like I knew in secondary school. So I feel like mine is a bit late because when I talk to other gays, they're like, "Oh, I knew when I was 2," and I'm like, really?
Did you know at 2?
Like people know since they were like 2, 5.
Yeah.
But I had a little boyfriend throughout primary school, child. I had no idea until it was just like a switch in my mind. It wasn't like, oh, I just found myself attracted to someone. No, it was just like a light bulb moment. And it was like, oh, I like girls. And I never really felt safe with men. Like I had little boyfriends growing up, but I never felt really safe. Like I remember having a little boyfriend maybe I was in secondary school, and he would turn up at my door after school and I'd see him and just turn around and go back to my room. Like I wouldn't even open the door for him. So I was never really interested. And then I kind of like suppressed it for a long time until I was in uni. And by that time I was really religious. Like I was going to church and doing all sorts of stuff at church, and then like it just was like a dark cloud for a long time. Like it was just like this thing that wouldn't leave, and I was like trying to reject it and avoid it. And then one day I was just like, I gotta deal with this. And what I did was dumb. I slept with a man just to check. That wasn't a good idea.
Sure.
Just to be sure. And I was like, don't like this. This is not nice. I don't like this.
You don't have to do that.
No, don't do that. That's a really dumb thing to do. Yeah, that's a dumb thing to do. But that's what I did. I was like, yeah, I don't like this. And then I just like started coming out to like friends first, and then family. And I remember being so like loud and proud on the internet, and my sister would go on my Twitter. She didn't have Twitter, but she was just like, you're so funny. So she would go on my Twitter and read it, and then she saw that I was just being loud and proud, and she was like, well, our parents don't know, and what if they find out? And so she told both of my parents. She outed me. No. My sister outed me.
Shout out Chanel.
Yep, shout out Chanel. We're past that now. And then my mum was like really upset about it. And at the time I had a girlfriend. She's like, is it that girl, that light-skinned girl that comes to the house? And then my dad, and he was like, I heard you're bisexual. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, have you had sex with a man? And I was like, yeah, I didn't like it. He was like, okay, well, try and get the lesbian sentiments out of your head, okay? And I said, I said, okay. And he said, stop chasing girls. I said, first of all,
they chase me.
Yeah. I know. Let's get this right. I don't chase women. And that was it. So for like 10 years, like after that, it was really like tense. But it just got to a point with my mum where I just started to help her unlearn certain things, and now we're in a good spot, It took a long time.
Yeah.
It took a long time, but...
And I think you need a bit of patience.
You
if
do.
Like I think it's different. Like if you're a person of color, like the culture doesn't allow it. It's not like if you have white parents. I know obviously there can still be issues there.
There can be, yeah.
But I feel like you need to give our parents a bit more time.
And
like even with Faris's dad, like it took a couple of years. Like my family still come around to it on Sierra Leonean side. So
even on your white side, to be honest.
Yeah.
Shout out to mum.
No, it takes a while. Sometimes you have to like give them grace because they don't know any better.
Exactly.
And you just have to be a bit patient. And I'm kind of glad I did, because before it was really like rocky and butting heads. And then one day I just took a step back and I said, she doesn't know any better. Let me try and help her.
Oh, yeah. And it might have taken you some time to like process how you felt as well. So like they probably need time to process that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So did you date before you came out, or did you only date like afterwards?
No, I dated before I came out, obviously like in secret. But yeah, I dated before I came out, so I had like a girl coming to my house and stuff. Like, it's so funny because my mum was upstairs and I was definitely shagging, but like I was out in secret. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I was definitely dating. I was having a ball.
And you've navigated, I suppose, like your like experience will be different to like everyone's experience, but specifically I'm really interested in like did you refer to yourself as masc or masculine?
Yeah, like masculine presenting.
Could you tell us a little bit about like what the difference is and like?
Yeah, I think for me, because there's terms, there's femme, there's stem, which is in the middle. So femme is like your feminine, lipstick, lesbian or bisexual. Then there's a stem who's like in between.
Okay.
And then there's a stud who is like more on the masculine side, more aggressive. And
But
none
stud
of those.
is only if you're black, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
stud
Is there
only
equivalent
black.
if you're white or?
Butch.
Butch, yeah.
Okay.
So you wouldn't interlink those, like that wouldn't happen.
I think some black people can call themselves butch, depending on what kind of community you belong to.
Right. Okay.
So there are, but I think stud is meant to be exclusive to black
people.
lesbians.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I never really resonated with stud. I thought it was a bit too aggressive for me because I don't feel like I'm, that way. So masculine presenting is a spectrum. I think I fit somewhere in there, and that's comfortable for me.
Okay.
So yeah.
And what's your story?
My story.
Your coming
Well,
out story.
well. So I grew up as a Mormon. And
Silence is crazy.
I was just like, TikTok the other day. So I didn't even know what a lesbian was. I didn't know anything, but I knew that I had these feelings. So I initially told my mum that that I was meant to be a boy.
Okay.
So, because my brother would get like action men figures for Christmas, and she'd get me like earrings, and I'd just be so upset that I didn't get this action man as well. And then so I just associate that with like, oh, then I'm supposed to be a boy, not that or anything else. Or I knew that I was attracted to other girls, but I didn't know that a woman or a girl and a girl could be together. And then later on down the line, like my mum had a friend whose daughter used to come over, so we just used to touch each other's bodies. When she'd come over, and but you know what? We were too young to be doing that. We were too young. When I think about it, I'm like, oh, whoa. But that happened. And then things were like suppressed throughout like secondary school. I had little boyfriends as well. And
You had quite a few
I had
boyfriends.
quite a few.
Yeah.
Did you?
They used to pick me up from school when I thought I was, and then all of that. And then I went to college and I was still like, used to play basketball. So I was like around boys, but it still didn't connect that. I mean, I knew that I liked girls, but I thought, okay, I have to like guys because I'm still somewhat a Mormon. I can't be a lesbian.
Okay.
And then eventually I was like, okay, cool, I'm bisexual. I just told my friends I'm bisexual because I had a crush on a manager that I had at work. So, and I was like in my late teens. And then eventually one of my little boyfriends got me pregnant. And then, so I had my daughter when I was 20. And after that, I was like, okay, I need to live my truth. Because like these guys were telling me, you're not even into men. Like, you just turn into a zombie and like all this stuff. And I had more like a friendship than anything romantic.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. Okay, I just have to date girls now. And then I just went for it. I cut my hair. I did everything. But I didn't actually tell my mum.
Oh.
So because I changed the way I looked so much, she asked my brother, like, is your sister a lesbian? And he was like, well, you're going to have to ask her, like, And then she called the authorities on me. And then when the person came to the house, I know I'm jumping. When the person came to the house, that person was queer. He was a gay man. And he was like, okay, I'm trying to understand what the disconnect between you and mum is. And I was like, oh, she just doesn't like me because I'm gay. So that was the first time I like confirmed that to her.
She was there?
Yeah, she was there.
Oh, okay.
And then she was just like, no, that's not the reason. Like, you're just fucking up, basically. It's not because you're gay. And then there was kind of like a long time where we didn't speak about it until we started our YouTube channel. And I just posted it everywhere, Facebook everywhere. And no one outside of the extent, like outside of our home, knew that I was queer or anything like that.
But from this, they all knew.
Yeah, so
Is this
when
from
I
episode
posted
1?
Yeah, episode 1.
Oh,
yeah,
you went
posted
out.
it,
Oh, okay.
So by this time, how old? Like 20, I was like 28 then, or 29 or something like that. And, or maybe 27. Anyway. And then all the aunties started like reposting it. But they were like being shady, like, what is this? Like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
My mum was at work, she was calling me, she's like, you need to take this video down. And I was just like, no. I'm not taking anything down. And then she came home from work and was like, do you know what? Just leave it there. Like, just leave it. But we just didn't speak about it for a long time. Right. And this particular auntie that started the gossip, her son got arrested for robbing an old man and his mugshot was in the newspapers. So I went back on Facebook and I said, well, when your son was robbing people and it was on the newspaper, nobody said anything. So what I'm doing is harmless. That harmed somebody. Yeah. So how dare you? And it
how did they take it?
Huge, like family feud, and like till this day, some people don't speak because of it. Yeah. But I was like, no, I'm gonna stand in my truth. Even I'm coming out like this, I'm coming out.
Yeah.
And
came out the gate swinging.
I came out the gate swinging. Yeah. And then I lost all of my straight friends I had at the time. That really changed too much. They all started going to church. Like, this is not, we can't get with this, basically.
Yeah.
And then I was just out, But then now my mum's great. Like, she's really cool. She works in a family court, and a trans woman came in once for a case, and they got on like a house on fire. And after that, my mum was like, I just can't be any sort of phobic, So she's fine. Mum's really good. She even she bought me like an LGBT t-shirt. Like, she was buying me boxers and anything LGBT with a flag. She's like, oh, that's your people. That's your guys. So yeah, my mum's good. My dad not so much, but my mum's good. Yeah.
Story with dads, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how do you identify?
I would say mass presenting as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Same as Nana. I wouldn't say I'm a stud. I'm too feminine. My mannerisms are very sassy. So I wouldn't say that I'm a stud, but I mean, I dress in men's clothing, so that's that.
Is there a place for you both? Or do you find it hard in like the lesbian community to be like feminine, masculine? Like, is it quite like black and white, or is there that like binary?
I think that now there is. I think, when we first came out, like when I came out 2011, I think it was very, very binary. Like, you're either like a stud or a femme, and anywhere in the middle, people look at you like you were weird. Do you know what I mean? They'll look at you like because when I came out, I still wore makeup. Do you know what I mean? So like, people still look at me like they were confused, like, what's going on here? I do think that things have changed now. We're a bit more progressive. We're a bit more, open. We're allowing people to be themselves. So I think it's much better now.
Way more progressive. Like, even at the time, I remember when I first came out and I was going to like bad bitches and stuff like that in Vauxhall. Like, I remember I was wearing jeans from Topshop, but I was wearing a men's t-shirt, and somebody was like, what is she? Like, what is she? Just pick a side, basically.
Oh my God, really?
And I remember after that, I internalized it so much that I went full stud. And that's when I cut my hair, and I was like
rebellion.
So I was acting like somebody who I'm not.
Okay.
I was like masking it up extra, even though I'm not naturally like that.
Yeah.
And then, but I would say, through meeting Nana, even having our podcast as well, that's when I've been able to like, okay, cool, this is me, and be more comfortable in who I am. So definitely.
So did you both get quite comfortable in yourselves, would you say, through the podcast that you did?
Yeah, and the friendship as well, because I think we were Do you feel like we came out late? Because I think we might have come out late.
Yeah, a lot of our peers, they were coming out when they were 15,
yeah,
14.
16.
Yeah.
So they were much more in it and had found themselves earlier than we did. So I think, through 10 years ago, that's when we was really finding ourselves. So I think our friendship and the podcast really helped us to find ourselves,
And how do you balance being queer and then culture? Like the background from Ghana, like how is the balance? Like, do you guys go to Ghana that often?
Yeah,
or?
we do, but I think we've had to find out on our own and not with our parents, because usually it'll be your parents that sort of like, carry the culture for you, and but I think for us, we've had to do that independently, because I don't get invited to any weddings or hall parties. Like, my mum will, when she gets invited to stuff, she'll invite my sister. I'll be like, oh, come along with me to this party or this funeral. I don't get invited.
In England?
In England. So it's just like, we've had to find that, and we're really, I think we're really Ghanaian. Like, we're really proud of where we come from.
And I do think the queer community in Ghana, as much as they're up against so much with the laws and things like that, they're still living their truth. Like, nice. And it's the amount of bravery within that is amazing. It's been amazing.
We love that, so honestly, because I think like we've had so many different conversations where I think a lot of the time queerness is always seen in the West, predominantly with white people, right? And I feel like the queer stories all across the world are usually kind of like diminished to like what the laws are, what the situations are. And even when we talk about it, like the way we get dragged is crazy. But there's queer people everywhere. There always has been queer people. So it's really nice to hear about like the culture.
No, and they're living their best lives.
Yeah, literally.
Like people are whining in the corner. Their best lives.
What's your thoughts on like when people say like boycott in a country because of the like LGBT laws? It's a big topic, but
yeah, no, it was hard because we had the anti-LGBT bill, which they were campaigning. The politicians, everything were campaigning, and it was hard because it was just like, we love this place. This is where we're from, and we love this place and we want to visit. We love our culture. So it was hard. It's just like, we can't really boycott the country because it means so many things than just this bill. It means way more. So it was just like, we campaigned, we protested, and we did as much as we could, but we still love our country and still love our culture.
I'm not sure, but I don't think I agree with boycotting just because you're giving up on the people that live there. Like, there's queer people everywhere. And the moment you just act like, okay, this country doesn't exist or I'm not going, how do you even invest in those queer communities if you don't actually go and, maybe go on their platforms or buy, if they have got a restaurant, buy food from their restaurant and things like that. So I don't agree with that because you're sidelining them. And they
you're
also need a voice.
Exactly. And you're basically saying like, if you're in the West, like it's okay. Do you know what I mean? But like all the other countries, like, and we've spoken about that so much.
Why'd you get dragged about it? What?
We went to
white people.
Wow.
We went to Dubai and we did an episode there, and in one of the clips, we basically said, of course, the laws are not good. There's issues there, 100%.
And we don't agree.
However, there are people who are Emirati, who are gay. There are gay Arabs. If you boycott Dubai or Abu Dhabi or Jordan, like, you're exactly what you said. Like, you're kind of leaving the people that are there. Do you know what I mean? And the people like, you should be boycotting. I can't believe you'd be over there saying this stuff. And it was just...
Also, like, another thing about that is, like, I'm an Arab in an Arab country talking about it, and they're telling me to like shut up, and I was like, no, I'm not. Like, it's not that. I think that's the audacity of that sometimes gets me. Like,
I don't see the importance in that.
And I get like they have their intentions are good, like they're trying to fight for like equality and whatever, but equality looks different everywhere. Like,
and it doesn't stop you being gay. Doesn't stop you from being Arab. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't cut yourself in half. And this is the thing about like intersectionality is that even when the Black Lives Matter stuff was going on, and it was just like, okay, like, there was a lot of focus on black people, which I understand, but there was not a lot of focus on black queers. And people are saying, well, we can see that you're black, but we can't see that you're gay. We can't look at you and see that you're gay. And it's just like, that's not the point. Like, I'm all these things. Do you know what I mean? All these things matter equally, so we're gonna fight for all of them.
100%.
And black women is like a completely different like nuance, like intersection. You can't fight for black lives and not see the different levels of what matters. And like we talk about that as well within our community, like the LGBT like community is, I think, not only does like women's rights almost get trodden on by guys and like gay people, because that's the representation, but it kind of starts the same as heteronormative society. It's like the white gays and then the cis white gays and then it goes like down, and unfortunately it's black women again that tend to be at the bottom of that. And I think that's what needs to be changed. Like, that's what we need to fight for.
Because privilege is relative, and everybody has some sort of privilege against somebody else, and we need to be allies for each other. Like, we need to be fighting for each other.
100%.
You know.
And that kind of reminds me of, there was a thing that I think you said it on the podcast, that sometimes you feel invisible to white gays.
Oh yeah.
I'd love for you to explain that, because when you said it was like a light bulb, and I was like, yes.
Do you know what, it's what we were talking outside, and I was like, oh, I think she's a lesbian. Oh, this is a gay. And I don't think that even crosses white people's mind about people who are not white, about whether that person could be gay or that could, especially for like black lesbians anyway. I could be in a space with 10 white lesbians, and I wouldn't know they're lesbian, but they would not recognize. At the moment I say, oh, I'm a lesbian, like, what?
Really?
But in our community, it was obvious. You know what I mean? It's kind of obvious. And I was like, why is it not obvious? Like, but yeah, I don't think that they see it. Like, even in workplaces and things like that. Let's say that I've gone to one of the Pride events. Like, oh, what are you doing here? What do you think?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
like a huge topic on racism though, because I feel like the masculinization of black women in general probably feeds into that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Whoa.
So yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, that's what
Yeah. Okay.
And that kind of goes on to the importance of like UK Black Pride and having Black queer spaces.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, you go to any Pride, it's predominantly white
That's
people.
why we don't go.
And you always feel a bit
Yeah.
pushed
We're
out.
othered.
We don't
Yeah.
go. We haven't been to London Pride in years.
What's the last time I went to London Pride?
I don't remember.
I wanted to go this year though.
Yeah. Because sometimes we feel like,
Yeah.
oh, we need to because it's still our community. And
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But
yeah.
I do feel because there's been like racism in London Pride. With black volunteers trying to help out and them kind of being sidelined and stuff like that. So it's just like we don't feel welcome there. You know. But it's still like I feel like white gay men it's their responsibility to change things because they are at the top.
Yeah.
That's what I mean about
And
privilege.
have
using
the
your
power
privilege.
as well
Yeah,
to
I think
make
gay men
exactly.
as well in general, like white gay men for sure, but I think
But
gay men in general,
yeah.
like
100%.
honestly, because sometimes
Hijack
we
everything.
can like see our oppression a little bit too much and still feel like, well, I'm still a person of color and I'm a gay man, like I'm oppressed. Like you
Yeah.
can still like help uplift those
Yeah.
voices and give that platform, and I think that gets missed as well quite
Yeah.
a bit.
I want to dive in a little bit. Attachment styles. Do you know your attachment style?
I think mine has changed. I was meant to do the
She's
test.
grown?
I was actually meant to do the test. I didn't. I'm busy at work.
mine
But
is.
I think I'm an avoidant,
Okay.
Oh yeah, I would agree.
Are you both avoidant?
I think she agrees with
Oh,
that.
the-
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I agree that she's an avoidant. I don't know what I am though. What
It
are
can
they?
kinda
What are
change.
they? Yeah, because I feel like they do. It does change.
Depending with who you're with,
Yeah.
and even like attachment styles goes into like platonic relationships as well. So you have like anxiously attached, avoidant attached, and secure attached. Anxious is usually like you're scared they're gonna leave, so you kind of maybe put more into it, and you can become maybe a little bit clingy, a
Yeah.
little bit like codependent on them. Secure is quite a good balance of both of them, and then avoidant. Yeah, if it gets a bit too serious, you kind of
kind of
Yeah,
up and
for me,
down.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know, I used to be secure, when I did the test.
I used to be secure as well. I don't know when that changed.
I don't know what happened, but now I'm
Trauma.
avoidant.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I do think I'm avoidant. Yeah, I can be avoidant, and I am somebody who likes to confront things. I do that quite a lot. It may be annoying for people, but I do
Nana
that.
does do that.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I'd be, confrontation queen. But yeah, I do think I can be avoidant. But sometimes I feel like I need to gather my thoughts. I need to know if I'm being extra or over the top. Sometimes I need to gather my thoughts.
Okay,
So
fair.
that might come across as avoiding as well. But yeah, what are you guys?
I'm anxiously attached.
And
I'm
I'm
just
avoidant.
anxious all over. Yeah, he's avoidant.
Yeah.
But I think as time has gone on, we've actually switched at some point.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
then we've become quite secure, and then we switch back. It really depends what's happening. Like
Right.
it depends. Like for example, like when I was going through an anxious period in my life, like obviously I was anxious.
Yeah.
And then like when we're going through like family coming out and all that sort of stuff, I think
Yeah.
you became very like secure and certain points that I need you to, and then like vice
100%. Yeah.
so it
kinda
does change.
It does
but he's an
change,
avoidant
yeah.
bastard.
Yeah.
And even with his friends, like he
I'm
literally
so bad.
doesn't message anyone. Like his mum has messaged us like 3 days ago on our group, and I like don't respond because I'm like, she's asking you a
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
Like, are you gonna respond to your mum? Are you gonna respond to your mum? It's literally he still hasn't. It's like
Why
3
are
days.
you not responding?
If she watches this, she's gonna love you for saying it. Because I'll see a message and I'll be like, yeah, I'll reply to that after XYZ.
Oh.
And then I'll
Okay.
forget.
Yeah, happened.
And then it'll pop in my head and I was like, okay, after what? And then it just becomes like a week.
He does have it.
I do the
issue,
same
though.
though. I take a while to respond.
Yeah.
Do you?
My mum calls me and it takes me 5 business working days to respond.
Does she go in when she sees you though?
She's like, why don't you pick up my call? I've been calling you.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm busy.
Janet calls all the time.
She does. She doesn't text. She calls. She's like, oh,
Did we cover your coming out with your mum?
yeah. She was really upset. She even cried. She was just like, oh, I didn't raise you to be like this and stuff like that. She cried, and I was like, I'm leaving, and I went to Weatherspoons for an hour and I came back.
Well, you guys did that video.
We did
Yeah.
a video. It was a piece of content for YouTube. It's called Breaking Bread, and the premise is that you talk about something that has been tense in your relationship, and so we made some food, my favorite Ghanaian dish, and then we broke bread and spoke about it. And you know, she has come a long way.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate her being, you know, patient and being open and stuff like that. She still says that she wouldn't come to my wedding, but I don't believe her. I think she'll be there. And I asked her, I was like, listen, I'm gonna potentially have kids with another woman. Some of those kids might not be biologically mine. Can you still love them? She said yes. So
that's cute. That's a massive step forward as well. 100%.
Yeah. So she's great.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Another thing that we've noticed is like with like gay men, there tends to be a lot of like toxic masculinity. Yeah. Is that something that
Can you take some time?
Is that something that you see in the lesbian community as well?
Ro, do you want to take this one?
Why me?
So you get dragged.
I think you're.
I'm not gonna. I'm toxic.
Yeah. I think you're a bit more toxic than I am.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm a bit more
explain.
toxic. I feel like sometimes I'm in a lover girl era and sometimes I'm in the toxic era.
Okay.
And I feel like with age, I thought that I would have. It's just not going anywhere. I don't know. I think that. I think that. I don't even know why I'm toxic. I don't know. I feel that sometimes. I think it's fun sometimes, but sometimes it's really bad. Like it's so bad. But I
Are
do
we
think
talking about
accountability-
dating, or we take?
Yeah, dating.
Oh, okay.
No, but even just existing in our community the way we do, I would say that quite a few people have a problem with me. I think quite a few
In
people
what
do.
sense though? Why?
I'm not the problem. It's them.
I do think it's I do think it's them, but I do think that because you have like such a big personality
Yeah.
and your main character, that people are threatened by that.
Oh.
People are
like the
yeah,
confidence
Yeah, the
almost.
confidence.
Because sometimes I've got beef with people whose names I don't even know.
Yeah.
Like,
They
it's
just
so
have problems
weird.
for
And
no
just one
reason.
girl came up to me and I was like, what is your name even? And then she was like, what?
And then that makes you.
And I got my back up.
Yeah, like, gets your back up. Do you know what I mean? So I think generally that's it. But in relationships, the toxic masculinity does come out.
The toxic masculinity does come out in relationships. I think I'm quite possessive. I
Okay.
think that yeah.
Where does that come from though? Do you think that's maybe you saw that in people growing up and then you replicated it, or is it something that just like where do you think?
I think that everything I learned about masculinity was through men. I
Okay.
don't think that I looked at other women necessarily because I didn't know many. So I think that as much as you pick up some good traits from men, you're also going to pick up some toxic ones. And I think I
Okay.
did also pick up some toxic ones. And it's weird because I feel like, I don't know if it's the type of people that I date, but some of them love it. Sometimes they're like, we feel like I'm loving hip hop, love this.
Whitney and
Bobby, love this, you know, but without the beatings, please. And
the drugs.
Yeah, the drugs, please. But yeah, I don't know the back and forth. But I do find the back and forth boring sometimes. Like it's just that one a bit too much for me.
Okay,
But
yeah.
for me, I'm just more of a possessive person. I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you quite judgy?
Oh, she's shady.
Oh, I'm shady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are
I'm
you shady to them when you're there? I feel.
Yeah.
Right.
But my mum's shady, my grandma's shady.
Yeah.
It just runs in the family. My daughter's shady. Like, it just runs in the family.
How old's your daughter?
She's 14.
What's that like? What's that relationship like? Did you?
Yeah.
I'm assuming you had to come out. Are you okay talking about this?
Yeah.
You had to come out to your daughter. Or-
Yeah, so we were going to the BLM protests. On our placard, it said Black Queer Lives Matter and Black LGBT Lives Matter. And she was like, what's LGBT? And I was like, okay, we're going to talk about it tomorrow. But at the time, I was in a relationship and she knew my girlfriend. So she knew that I was in a same-sex relationship. And my brother also had a girlfriend that she knew as well.
Okay.
And so the next day, I basically told her which letter meant. But she didn't understand why there had to be a name for it. She just felt like people should just be. So she even
Because it was so like
cried.
normalized.
Yeah.
Okay.
She even cried and was like, oh, so it's a thing. So she goes, wait, if it's a thing, that means now some people like it or some people don't like it. And she was like, oh, so that means maybe some people don't like it.
Bless.
Especially because we had it on the board kind of thing. So I was like, yeah, but you know, the world is progressing. And she just cried. At the time, she didn't understand trans, though. That was like too hard for her. But when she started year 7, there was a trans girl in her year. and they changed their name throughout year 7, and they had that conversation. She came back. I was like, oh, I get it now, and I asked her how did that go with her peers, and she was like, no, it's fine, kind of thing. But a few weeks ago, she told me that her friend said, oh, we should date. And I was like, oh, is your friend, is that a boy or a girl? And she was like, that's the thing, it's a girl. And I was like, oh, so how do you feel about that? My eyes were like, how do you feel about that?
Oh my God.
And she was like, I don't know how to feel. She was like, obviously, I like boys. Because before that, she said to me that, oh, I'm not gay just because you're gay. Like, I like boys. And then, but with this situation, she was like, I don't know how to feel. I was like, do you not know how to feel because you don't know how to feel because it's another girl or because it's your friend? And she said, okay, I need to figure it out. She kind of just left the room, was like, we need to figure it out. I said, anyway, you need to not date and read your books. So that's that. But I did ask her about other queer people in her year group. And she was also like, your generation make it a thing too much. Like, you just keep asking me about gay people. Like, they're there, so it doesn't matter. And
It's not trauma.
Yeah. She said one of her friends, she's in year 10 now, and she said one of her friends, he's a boy, he came out to everybody. And she was like, nobody cared because we already knew. She's like, but we already knew from year 7, so why are you telling us? Kind of, that's where the shade comes.
We never, when we were younger.
Never. In year 10.
No!
That's the worst time.
I met a 9-year-old yesterday because I went to get a tattoo and the little girl was in the shop because her mum works in the shop. And she was just like, to my girlfriend, oh, so you're a she, and is that a she or he? And she's like, because I don't want to get it wrong. Like, and she was so sweet.
That's
and
so cute.
my girlfriend was like, oh, well, she's a she. She's like, oh, okay. And then she was like, are you two together? It was like, yeah. She was like, oh, that's nice. Like, you know what I mean? She was so progressive, so cute, so aware, so understanding. It was just like, wow, this is what kids are.
The younger generation is crazy though. Like, even like our nephew, he's surrounded by so much like queerness in general that like, I think sometimes I feel like it can go in the opposite way because before he was like going to school, he'd be doing like all these like dances, like watching
his nails.
Yeah, like and then like some of the boys at school would sometimes say things and he'd come back a little bit like confused. So maybe it's like a bit of a balance with
I feel like with the schools, young people, there are some that
there are some who learn from their parents.
Yeah, and it's just like passed down.
Yeah.
100%.
So now talking about masculinity, I think it's important. We saw a shift with Nadia, one of our guests, and they were saying that from their experience in the lesbian community, there can be toxic masculinity in the sense of like, talking about women the same way that like hetero guys might do. There's that kind of, again, like protectiveness, whatever. What we said was like the social construct of masculinity is power, dominance, so it can be exhibited by either like gender, sex, or and then we said it shows up differently in the gay community because we have that and that need for someone to be masculine and we like want that person masculine, and then there's, if you're too feminine, it's like, oh no, he's too camp. And it's actually what it wasn't actually Nadia, it was Georgia. What she said was sometimes being too masculine in the lesbian community is actually a bad thing, and people don't like it. And I was like, that's so interesting how it's like sought after here but not here. Have you guys experienced that? Like, what do you think of that?
I think so, because I feel like now everybody's queer. And when I say queer, like, people use that umbrella term, and it's everyone, more so a lot of people identify as queer because it's not so binary, I think. And so like, I don't think people are, I think people like the people that like can switch it up or do both or are not too masculine. But then again, in our community, sometimes there are people who are like, oh, that stud is too sassy, too girly. We want studs that can change our tire and pump our gas. And do you know what I mean? Really? So like, there's like, there's that. It depends what you like, isn't it? And that's the thing about the world. We care too much about what people like, and we should just concentrate on what we like. Because I like submissive women, and I try to keep that in the bedroom. Sometimes it might come out of the bedroom. Misogynistic. I'll hold my hands up. Okay, and I do feel like I've learned that again, like you said, from like male figures as well. But I do think it's like it depends on what you like.
What can we do? Not just me and him, but like as the guys or the people that identify as male, in the LGBT? Like, what can we do to uplift like voices of the women and like lesbians specifically and of color? What do you want to see like that part of the community do to uplift? Like, how can we support? What can we do?
I think more conversations
Like this.
like more conversations like this. Even when you go out, I think when you go to some queer events, like the gay men might be over there, you know, lesbians or the bisexual girls. There's a bit of a divide, and I think just get to know each other a bit more. Just have conversations, talk. Follow each other on Instagram, like some pictures, you know, do whatever. Like, you know, I think it just starts with conversations and meaningful conversations as well.
Yeah.
Like, so you can really get to know this person's experience, because you can't speak about it if you don't understand it.
Yeah.
So I think just trying to gain that understanding there, and so you can help us with protests or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I'll say that. I'll say that.
No, I agree with that. Do you know what? This might not even be, you know, related, but I do think we should be having kids together.
Oh.
Okay,
Break
we
that
should
down.
be having family. I think we should be having families together, because I feel like there's a lot of lesbians that want kids. There's a lot of gay men that want kids. I feel like it would be the perfect setup, because then we can all go away. Like, I could go away with my wife. You guys look after the kid, and vice versa. And I just feel like family structure, and that way you're a unit. You're still helping each other. You're having these conversations because you're in the home with the child, and you're bringing up a beautiful human. You know, so
I'm obsessed with that.
That is
crazy. Yes,
I think that's what we need, because I think that would like bring us together. I would think that would bring us together. Yeah,
I love that. I mean, in theory, I feel like that's amazing, but practical, like for parents.
there's four parents,
Four
opinions where the child's gonna go to school. I know it does sound good.
But that is so cool though. Like, that's such a good idea. Like, it's almost like back in the day. Like, I'm thinking like even in Jordan, like we'd have like aunties, our mum, our tata, grandmother, like they'd look after us. I mean, even like, and it's not even a million years ago. So like, because of like Jordan in general being like a little bit, let's say, not as developed, even in my generation, like our aunties used to breastfeed any of the kids because they were all born around the same time. And like that sense of like connection and like safety, you know, those people, I think that would be really
and
cool.
community. Like, I think because there's such a divide, as Rose said, like we have the gay men over here, we have the lesbians over here, and I just feel like we need to like.
Why did that happen though?
I don't get. Like, it does feel.
I don't get it.
Like separate, but I have no idea why.
I didn't know why. I remember one girl at work once said to me, like, she was like, "Oh, I'm a lesbian." And then I was like, oh, cool. Like, I'm obviously like gay. And then she was like, oh, but we can still like each other. And I was like, whoa, what a thing. Like, I didn't even realize there was a thing there. And I was like, why wouldn't we like each other? Because it was like early on, like, when coming out. And she's like, oh, you know, like gays and lesbians don't get on. And I was like,
where did that rumor come from?
But I don't know. I don't actually know. I can understand why, as in general, I think as a person who wants equality, as a person who's like a feminist or whatever, I can understand why you'd have certain feelings towards men, misogyny, the patriarchy. I can get that. But I don't know why it's so blanket across like that. I don't know. Do you have an opinion?
Yeah, I feel like you're thinking stuff.
You know, we had Mark on our, was it Mark that said, Mark Thompson came on our podcast, and we asked him, what is it, like, why don't gay men like lesbians? And he was just like, he doesn't think this, but back in the day, they were saying that how lesbians weren't well kept or something like that. And like, lesbians couldn't dress, or like,
It wasn't hygienic.
Something like that. And then we were just like, whoa, kind of thing. So there was that opinion. There was that, but I think that within our separate communities we kind of exist around sex a lot, and so I think that when those are the topics, conversations, and people are forming relationships around that, even if it's like friendships, we might be talking about girls, and you know, we have like this one, and you know, this guy might be talking to this guy about men and stuff like that. So I think sometimes that's where the divide is because we're talking about. It's not even so much of a clash, but it's just, it feels like a clash in that moment.
That's so interesting.
Moment you saying that is so good.
Yeah.
Because I just thought of like one of your friends, like no longer a friend, but like at the time, no shade, we love you. She's a lesbian, and she used to go into graphic detail.
I don't want to hear about pussy.
About no, not even like we didn't care. But when we spoke about it, she was like, "Oh, I don't want to hear about it."
Shut it down.
Like, she shut it down,
away.
and I was like, "Oh, interesting that you have that kind of reaction." And I think there is that reaction where they don't like men, and then talking about sex and men. But then gay guys are savage, and they'll be like, "Oh, I don't want to talk about." Like, that's the problem. any part of a human being that you're reacting like that to, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't be that disgusted by any human being, and especially if it's your friend talking about, like, you might not want to know like graphic details, but if you're having a good time, you're having a good time. Like,
But that's like with straight people though. Like a lot of their homophobia is centered around the sex.
Always.
Most of it. Yeah.
They link it back to that constantly.
Yeah, I think the same thing.
And we are graphic. Like the LGBT, like we'll be like, so did you swallow? Like, like straight people don't talk like that.
No, they don't.
But I want to know the tea.
I want to know.
Right? Tell me what happened.
I want to know.
So to wrap everything up, let's do, if you were to give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be when you were in the thick of it, no matter what it was?
Oh, God. Taking me back.
You got 2 minutes and 30 seconds to just...
It was an awful time.
I would say that give yourself patience and grace.
Yeah.
And I think I would also say it's okay to make mistakes, and those the mistakes don't define you. You know, as long as you learn from all these experiences, it's just going to make you a better person. And I think that's what I would say.
That's cute. Yeah. And it will get better.
Yeah, it will. Yeah.
And it's not always as bad as you think. Because I don't know, I think like the coming out stories, right? Now that you're through it, was it as bad as you thought it was going to be?
No. And what's on the other end is just...
worth it.
Exactly. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying about the learning, because like I wouldn't be. I think my relationship with my mum is a lot better now than even before I came out, because she's learned so much. And I also have what Nana was saying about grace and patience and things like that. I've also understood that, oh, hold on, this is not something that she was used to. So yeah, I started to give her grace, and that's when our relationship just like really blossomed and became a lot better. So it wasn't that bad. I thought we were just not gonna have a relationship.
That's what I thought as well.
This conversation is not long enough. Like,
when you said we're gonna wrap this up, I was like, what?
That was actually so annoying, because I was like, there's so much to unpack still, because I like feel like the coming out, the dating, the battling with masculinity, femininity, religion, we didn't even cover.
Yeah.
You have to come back.
Part 2.
Yeah, we come back.
Come back. Part 2.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming all the way.
Thanks for having us.
I appreciate it. It was so fun and so nice.
Catch up every week and like and subscribe and all that shit. And also make sure you catch up Two's podcast. All the episodes are still live and kicking.
We'll be back.
It's happening.
Thank you. Bye.
Peace.